happy Wednesday/Friday, and welcome to another speed build. I'm sitting here on, a Friday evening, doing this voiceover. So, God, this is like a whole week early if you're just on YouTube. I'm doing this because I'm trying to be productive. You know, you get in those like stages where you have a plan to do something and then you just can't be bothered. So I've decided that I need to make up other stuff to do when I can't be bothered to do the main thing. So that means I'm kind of productive in getting other things ticked off the list. So that's what I'm doing today. I couldn't face doing a UV map, so I've decided instead I'm going to do this voiceover for this tiny little Gothic house here and get that done, because it's still going to need to be done. It's, you know, it's on the list, it has to be done. It actually has a closer deadline than everything else, so why not get it done? So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be productive. I saw this video the other day that was talking about like perfectionism and how there's actually no, it wasn't that video. It's talking about being productive, and it was saying, if not this, then that. If not that, then this. Something like that. But about, like, you know, we make these plans for when we're feeling... we imagine our future selves as these, like, super productive people. So, like, for example, you say, I'm going to go on a diet. And you're like, yep, from Monday I'm going on a diet. And I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week. I'm going to eat super duper healthy and all this stuff. And basically you have this like perfectionist, your future self is always this perfect being, and then you get to the actual time when you're meant to do this and you realize you're not a perfect human being. You have some flaws, and some days you wake up and you just feel like poop, and other days you don't. So you need to have like a backup plan. So this is my backup plan, is doing this instead. I was like, this is not going to tax my brain. So we are going to do this voiceover. We're going to have a fun time. We're going to talk a lot of rubbish for 21 minutes and 44 seconds. That's how much footage I have. And yeah, just a general chin wag. So here we are. This build is another build for what's it called? Build month. That's the one. And this, I must say, would look fabulous in the new world of Henford-on-Bagley. So if you're looking for a CC build to plonk down when that one comes out, this will be ready for you, ready and waiting. The new pack doesn't come out until the 22nd of July. I'm like, oh, you announced it, and it's gonna take forever to be released. Still, at this present point in time, I still don't know when my embargo is for showing off the footage that I captured of my builds. So yeah, I'm excited though for you all to see the world. I think it's stunning personally, and I hope you like my builds. Can you imagine if I'm like, I done builds, and then you're all like, they're awful. Also, don't feel bad when you get the pack and you choose to delete my lot. It's okay if you want to bulldoze, because, you know, maybe the setting that it's in is perfect for this house that you imagined. It's fine. I won't take it personally when you bulldoze my lot. Okay? Just don't tag me in the tweet where you've bulldozed it. Just, you know, you don't have to go that far. It's okay to bulldoze it. Just don't tell me. Don't show me and all of that. I'm joking. Feel free to bulldoze. I think once I'm done with the lots, I don't think I feel precious over them anymore. So yeah, feel free to do whatever. But for this build, because we don't have the new world yet, we are in Windenburg, the good old fave. Like, everyone has got to love Windenburg. If you don't have Get Together already, I highly recommend it. It has to be my favourite expansion pack, I think, so far. Just because we got Windenburg. I think that's it. I remember when Get Together was meant to be out and then they delayed the release of it. And nobody quite got the concept of what the hell Get Together was. Everyone was like, what the hell is this Get Together stuff. Like I think they didn't do a very good job marketing it or displaying what the concept of the pack was, but once you got it in game, it was so good. I feel like this is probably one of the most underrated packs before release. There wasn't any hype for it whatsoever, and then it got released and it was like, oh, it's epic. So yeah, if you don't have it already, I highly recommend it. Plenty of Origin sales all year round for you to use, and I'll definitely have a giveaway as well of the new pack when that releases and everything like that. So yeah, I'm just building this did start off meant to be looking very different. This place, I saw this like tiny little dollhouse. It had this really tall roof, and I wanted it to have an attic in it and everything. And then of course you go to build it in The Sims and you're like, oh god, it looks fugly. No, I find it very difficult to work with tall roofs in The Sims. I feel like they look lovely in real life, but I just don't really appreciate them in The Sims, which is it's okay, I suppose. But yeah, I wish I could, because some of the inspiration images I find always have a good old tall roof, but I never managed to do it. I ended up going even flatter than I was planning on the roof, because then I wanted to do this extra trim, this Gothic trim around it. So it has to be at a certain angle for that to, the angle to work properly. So yeah, I had to lower my roofs even more. So on this build, there is quite a lot, we're not gonna lie here, a lot of Felixander custom content. And this is kind of one of the builds where I just decided I'm not gonna limit myself. I'm just, whatever item I want to use, I'm gonna use. I think with like the Villa Lombok, I limited myself to a couple of the Felixander packs. I'm very aware that it is content that you also have to buy, so I was like, yep, I'm gonna limit myself. But this one, I was just like, let's just chill and use all of my favorite pieces that I want to use and just not restrict myself. Sometimes you've got to just do a build and not think about restrictions or anything. So that was one of these. I think this week as well I'm going to be doing another build where I don't restrict myself at all either, which is going to be on the Von Horn estate. That's the next one, so be prepared for that. Clear it, get the Zerbu venue change mod thing. I'll definitely have that linked on that build, just so that you know that you can place it properly and use it and all that stuff. But yeah, this one turned out really, really cute. I thought I only had 2 hours of footage, but I didn't. I had a lot more. I think I had like 3.5 hours of footage. I was praising myself. I was like, oh, I did this in one take. There's only 2 hours of footage. I was so proud of myself. And then I found the other section of the footage and I was like, oh god. But yeah, I'm playing around with the tool mod a little bit more now. I'm not going to be one of those people that does like these huge modern mansions with curves done with the tool mod and all this. That's not me, but I do like using the tool mod for things like sizing up in different increments. Like for example, these decorative heads that I have in the apex of the roof, or the gable of the roof. Gable roof? Yeah, the gable of the roof. Normally, of course, using the bracket keys, it sizes up to like twice the size, but I just wanted it to be like 50% larger. So that's what I use the tool mod for. Very adventurous, aren't I? Very adventurous. But yeah, I wanted this to really blend in with the scenery. I do have a slight gripe in The Sims where, that terrain kind of paint stops before the lot. I know they're trying to do that for it to be a little bit more versatile and not restrict you at where the kind of pathing goes on your lot. They don't want to restrict you to one entrance way. But to be quite honest, we always try and match it to that anyway, because if you put the path going anywhere else other than where that dirt is, it's going to look kind of weird. So I wish they'd just kind of bring the paths right up to the front of the lot. Also, there's some of the lots that have like this tiny thin gap where the where the terrain paint doesn't quite reach the lot, which also is eye-twitchingly irritating. But yeah, so we're going slightly organic, we'll call it organic, with the landscaping, you know, it's kind of thought about, but also slightly overgrown. You know, it's just, it looks cute, but it's not too bitty. So we've got lots of bushes. I'm having a whale of a time having the better build by mod. And being able to get all of these live edit objects so much quicker, and being able to eyedrop them is a godsend. So I can't rave on enough about this mod. Just get it. It's just been updated today actually. I was still using the old version in this, but it's just been updated to version 2 of Better Build My, and then you can change, it has better kit filters, so you can filter it by the individual kits instead of like in the game. It only has one filter by kit, so all of the kits show. So they got individual filters. What else was there? There was something else that was big. There's also, I know there's the lighting got added, so you can now change the color of the lights within build mode, which is also great because sometimes you place like candles or chandeliers and they are super duper yellow, like a crazy yellow light, and you have to go into live mode with a sim to sort out all the coloration and stuff, so it's a little bit irritating. So it's just great having these kind of time saving things. I still can't quite believe that the Sims team hasn't implemented the camera into build mode yet, and like really confused how they haven't added it in, because that mod has been around for ages. That was the first Twisted Mexi mod I had and lived by it. Still do. I can't build without having the build mode camera in, because like on this lot I don't have any sim or anything. So yeah, I think that's such a simple thing to implement as well. It works flawlessly with his mod, so I don't quite get why they haven't added that feature in. Another feature, please, can we just have more increments on sizing up? The whole size up once and it equals 100 times the size of the first one. So you're going to like 200%. No, I just want 150%. Thank you. To start off with, maybe 125. Not 200%. But anyway, for the interior of this, it is only one bedroom. Just like all the best of my builds, we only have one bedroom. So I must say, I think the last few builds, the last one was a farmhouse. That one had 4 bedrooms. Who am I? Don't know. The one before that had 2 bedrooms. I suppose that's two bedrooms. It was quite a large apartment and I only put 2 bedrooms in, but you know, it had a home office as well, so that would have been the 3rd bedroom. But this one, as I said, just like all the best of my builds, only has 1 bedroom, because who needs more? Who? I don't know what sim can really afford this. I think probably most of you that use my 1 bedroom builds have probably cheated your way into them, because you know, if it's a family home, you've kind of maybe played the game for a little bit and you've worked your way up to affording it. But with these, it's like a single person kind of just starting out build. You know, if you've earned enough money to afford this, which I don't even know how much this costs, but it must be a lot because it's got Felix Ender content and trims all over it, then you've got to be pretty established, unless you plan to have like maybe they're retired. I have a retired person in this. But yeah, the interior of this, the floor plan, I cut the footage out. And you may think, oh, but Harrie, it's only a small build. Why didn't you keep said footage in? Why? Because it took me forever. When I say forever, I mean I was doing the floor plan and trying to figure it out for at least a good 45 minutes. And I didn't want you to realise how terrible I am at building. So I cut it out and I decided to tell you anyway. But there's a chance you won't believe me if I tell you that it took me 45 minutes. But if I kept the footage in, you definitely know how terrible I am. So I decided to cut the footage out. But yeah, this was the most awkward floor plan. Trying to fit everything in with the windows I had in place was annoying. I ended up nudging windows slightly, picking slimmer windows, trying to do different angles. It was just a headache, to be quite honest. But I think I managed to get all the essentials in. Of course, you need your 9,000 simoleon TV, or is it 9,999? Is it 10 grand? Something like that. But of course, you all need your Samsung TV above your fireplace. I think I put chairs. With this build month, I have been using chairs that I know are not functional. So FYI, chairs, if you didn't know, CC chairs are broken. I get people asking me about tables. For some reason, everyone thinks it's the tables that are broken. They're not. It's chairs that are broken. So EA did a patch a little while ago that broke all of the CC chairs. It was an unintentional, well, that's the new word, an unintentional change that they made. So they are going to change it back, I've been told. Please follow through on your word. I have been told that they are going to change it back because they don't expect CC creators to change all of the dining chairs and stools that they have ever made for the last 7 years because they made an unintentional change. So that is the official word, but when that's going to happen is anybody's guess. So I'm trying to hold strong and not batch fix all my stuff and release it, because if you saw my messages of the questions I get when there are a couple of versions of something out on the internet, you also wouldn't update your stuff. So of course I would have updated it if it was a permanent change, but because it's a temporary bug and it's waiting for EA to fix it, I haven't updated them. If you can't live without them and you're okay with all of your chairs disappearing once you batch fix and you have to re-put them in, then I suggest you go to sims4studio.com and download Sims4 Studio and run the batch fix on the chairs. So it is fixable if you want to. I'm just not releasing a official fix because it caused havoc. I still get people now sending me messages saying that the bathroom windows don't work, and I'm like, dude, where have you been? I fixed them 8 months ago. So that's why I don't want to float temporary things out into the universe. If there were permanent changes, yep, sure, I would release them, but not temporary ones. So that's my long ramblings, and I'm sure you're rolling your eyes at this, but yeah. So the inside, we're kind of an eclectic mix. I really do think this would fit in well into the new world, but we kind of shoehorned as much in here as possible. I've used a lot, as I said, of Felix Ender content, mostly the Florence set. I've used his new Paris set as for the counters. I've used, what else? Definitely his Gothic set. All the trims and everything came in his Gothic set, the most recent one. And what else? And I've used my CC as well, so I've mixed it in. I tried some of the the square chest in the living room is from the paranormal. Is it paranormal? Yeah, the paranormal stuff pack. So I haven't really been able to build that much since that stuff came out, so I'm kind of just looking at it mostly, and my nose is tingling now and I really need to sneeze, but it's so not gonna happen. But yeah, so we're on to the boudoir, also known as the bedroom, and I went with green because I'm a a sucker for green. Also, I'm trying to put this canvas in somewhere because when I recorded this, I had just finished making the brownstone and I was slightly obsessed with the canvas and using every swatch possible in every build that I did. So I think every single build this month has got that canvas in it. So I apologise. I just kind of get into this groove. I just keep going with it until I get bored. So that's what we did. But yeah, I liked kind of mixing up in here, having the chair next to the bed, but also the side, the chair and the side table, mixing it up and just being a little bit, a little bit of asymmetry. We love a little bit of asymmetry in our lives. I tend not to do symmetrical stuff. I'm not the biggest fan of symmetrical builds. Saying this, the next build you see is going to be symmetrical. So, I like to contradict myself all the time. But yeah, that's because it's a classic build. It's classic. It is meant to be symmetrical. But yeah, most of the time I choose to build with asymmetry just because to me, it just looks prettier. I think most of the struggle with building in The Sims is making sure it kind of looks lived in and it looks slightly more realistic, and I don't want everything to be symmetrical. I feel like you should, if you're looking for build tips, I would say try and figure into your build something that makes it imperfect, because I think imperfect looks better than perfect. That's why I always do like jaunty plant pots there. You see I never place them straight on. I always do slightly angled rugs and all that kind of stuff. To make it imperfect. But anyway, we are heading into the screenshots. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be back like in 2 days time. Bye guys.